Hey everybody, Jamie Starr here, New World News Network. Waiting to hear back from Paul about today's live stream. But in the meantime, I saw this video by Styxhexenhammer, and if you go through older content, granted I haven't paid attention to his punk ass in a while because he just irritates me. In fact, I think last podcast with Paul I was poking fun at him. Um, but one of the things I've said from the very beginning about him is he is either, when it comes to the occult, he is either a gatekeeper or he's an idiot. And now I checked out his website and I saw some of the books he's gone through republishing, so I don't think he's an idiot. I think he knows a fairly decent amount about it. I'm no expert, but last podcast with Paul, you guys saw me digging through my digital book collection on the occult. I mean, I have almost everything you could imagine. And we were going through some of the documents, some of the rituals for different groups, OTO and stuff like that. So I saw this, and within the first minute of it, my red flag went up. So we're going to check this out real quick, and then I'm going to tell you where the problem lies. So let's have a watch.
All right, everyone. I know this is a little bit belated, but I wanted to weigh in on sort of analyze actually the Joe Rogan podcast chat that he had for hours and hours with Alex Jones, which was completely off the rails. Think of it this way. And it was sort of a meeting of the minds. You know, Rogan and Jones have huge audiences, so there's a large number of people that wanted to watch it. I can't even remember exactly how many people were watching it peak live. It was many tens of thousands of people. It's like probably number one on YouTube at the moment. For hours, again, it was like what, a 4-hour fucking chat that they had, and it was crazy, and it was perfectly strategically made. I'll tell you why. And this is what I've said about especially Jones for a while now. Alex Jones, if you read like his court statement with regards to all of the things that people were alleging about him, and he goes into that a little bit on this interview with regards to the Sandy Hook families and stuff. What he is saying, some people jump down his throat because he's like, well, I play, on screen I play a persona sort of. What he's saying is, I think he believes honestly in many of the things he says, but some of the more over-the-top behavior, number one, and statements he makes and the way he makes them, number two, and three technically, is meant to draw an audience in, entertain them, while more subtly giving them actual information. For instance, I think Alex Jones is absolutely against gun control. I don't think he's a shill in any way on that issue, or free speech. I think he does absolutely want it. I think he does worry about the globalization of the world, all these different issues. Do I believe for a second that he believes that DMT injecting space aliens have come down to try to enslave mankind? No, of course not. But here's the thing.
Sorry about that, everyone. I still had myself muted. Okay, restart. So, the problem here, what Styx just did, is he completely misrepresented what Alex was talking about. Alex was talking on the show about different groups in power. Specifically, he talks about the Nazis, though, doing this, and then the Nazis bringing it over to America, and the British and Germanic elites throughout history doing this. But they even brought it back to the Aztecs. I mean, Alex was really talking about that these practices are done all through time. He talks about it even through the video, throughout history, pharmakia, sorcery. He's talking about the occult. He's talking about using drugs, and Rogan again correlates all of this to the experiences he has. Jones says the term aliens, but he's not talking space aliens. He's talking about interdimensional demons, essentially, that you channel and you use drugs to unlock these gateways. Now, Rogan even says there are people who can unlock these gateways through meditation, through breathing techniques. Me and Paul have talked about it on the podcast. You had the congressman say that yoga is dangerous because when you empty yourself, you don't know what could fill that void. That's what Jones is talking about. Jones talks about automatic writing. He's talking about how the Nazis were using drugs to channel entities to receive information. Nikola Tesla swore that this was how he was getting his information. I mean, I do this when I write music. I've done automatic writing. Half the time I write a song, I don't remember writing it, and I will never claim credit for my creations. I'm just the vessel. I am just, it's coming from elsewhere, and I am just the hands in which put it into the third dimension. Styx should know this. Styx, of all people online, should be one of the ones saying, Jones is right. What Jones is talking about, channeling, using meditation and drugs to channel entities for information that is not generally of this realm, for advanced information, advanced technology, advanced creativity. I mean, this is like starting point at the occult. Led Zeppelin did this. I mean, this is my main issue of contention with Styxhexenhammer. Is I don't know if I mean, and this is I'll tell you what, I know I'm being too generous. He has to be a gatekeeper because there's no way he is this dumb. But look at how dismissive he is of this. Do I think Alex Jones really believes in interdimensional aliens coming down to enslave humanity? Blah blah blah. No. But you're not going to talk about channeling. You're not going to talk about automatic writing. You're not going to talk about using meditation and the occult in order in a quest to gain power, assertion of will over others. I mean, this is ridiculous. It's goddamn ridiculous. And I will issue this as an open invite to Styxhexenhammer because I have very minute knowledge of the occult, and I would love for him to explain to me how he claims to know so much about it, but is so dismissive over something so basic. Like I said, Led Zeppelin was doing this. The Beatles were doing this. I mean, most of your rock musicians from this time that were heavily influenced by Aleister Crowley, Jay-Z claims to be doing this. I mean, so it's like you have Nikola Tesla saying this is where his inventions came from. The Nazis, I mean, this isn't Alex Jones talking about, and Alex says this throughout the thing. This isn't what I believe. This is what they believe they were doing. This is what they believe they are doing. It's ridiculous. I'm going to start actually doing a series on here where I get into subliminal and backmasked messages. And this has been a topic that I have been reluctant to get into because of my use of dark magic, essentially, in order to further my musical creativity, basically. I mean, I'll just come out and say it. I was in a dark place. I was angry at everyone. Music was my primary pursuit, and I essentially weaponized my music through using dark occultism. There's a song of mine. I'll show you guys the song in an upcoming podcast. I'll be the first one to say I'm an awful singer. So, half my intentions with these were, let me put out songs so if other people want me to write and produce for them, I can give them a finished product and they essentially have to karaoke it. But I have songs that were never written on paper. And I just stood in front of a microphone and it just came out. And then if you play it backwards, it says things like, I am Satan, I am Satan, I am the one who started this, I am here to save the music. I mean, that's the chorus of the song, clear as day in reverse. And it was never written. It was just completely channeled through me. If there was a piece of paper in front of me, it would have been automatic writing. But it was just babbled out. And that's, I mean, this guy drives me crazy. He really pisses me off because I don't know why. My only guess, and I normally don't like doing this, I don't like ascribing motive, but I really think when it comes to people like this with the occult, when they try to hide and conceal information, it is because they know the power that it can grant, and they know that if someone understands how the tricks and the deceptions are done, you can no longer assert your power over them. So as long as he keeps his audience ignorance on this stuff, he can still use it against them. That's just my guess. My guess is he is a little man who enjoys the power and doesn't want to share it, and doesn't even want people looking in that direction, because look at how dismissive he is when he should know this shit. And he should be the first one saying, Alex Jones is right. People do this. People do channel other dimensional entities for information and knowledge. And they use drugs as a gateway to opening those doorways. So anyway, that's my little tear on Styxhexenhammer and his fucking ridiculousness. Paul and I should be live in a little bit. I'm probably just going to send this straight to upload. So I'll see everyone soon.